The sixth installment to the Scream franchise is slowly but surely creeping up on us with a March 10th release date, and Paramount has finally begun promoting it with a title confirmation and a teaser trailer, as well as a brand new poster. So today I'm going to break down everything that we know about the highly anticipated sequel, and I'll also be breaking down that first teaser that was just released. After Scream 5 was simply titled Scream, there was a ton of speculation on what the title of this sixth entry would end up being. But that speculation can finally be put to rest as Scream 6 is aptly titled Scream 6. However, unlike Scream 2 through 4, it will be stylized with the Roman numeral 6 rather than the digits. I'm glad that we're back on this numerical path, and in my mind I'll simply refer to Scream 2022 as Scream 5 and pretend that that title never happened. Alright, in regards to the plot of Scream 6, of course it has been kept tightly under wraps, but we do know that the gang is ditching Woodsboro for the third time in the franchise. This time around, Ghostface will be wreaking havoc in the streets of New York City. Despite its NYC setting, the filming for Scream 6 actually took place over this summer in Vancouver, Canada. Now let's talk about what we know about the cast of Scream 6. First and foremost, do not expect to see Sidney Prescott this time around, as unfortunately, Neve Campbell has announced all the way back in June that she would not take part in the project due to contract and salary negotiations. She stated, "I felt that the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value that I have brought to the franchise." She also said, "As a woman, I have had to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream." And in my opinion, she's right. Maybe Paramount shouldn't have greenlit another Scream film if they couldn't justify giving their stars a significant pay raise, especially Sidney Prescott. It is a very unfortunate situation that I think mostly reflects poorly upon the studio. I can only hope that they can work something out for a potential proper send-off to Sidney's character in Scream 7, if that is the film that is intended to wrap up this franchise. But Scream 6 will mark the first film without Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, and it will also be the first without David Arquette as Dewey Riley, after the fate of his character was sealed in the previous film. Courtney Cox will be reprising Gale Weathers though, which would make her the only actor to appear in every installment of the series. And who knows, with Gale expected to have a more central role in this film, maybe we could get some flashback scenes that do feature appearances from Dewey. Roger L. Jackson, the voice actor behind the iconic voice of Ghostface, is returning for Scream 6 as well, making him tied with Courtney Cox as the actor involved in the most Scream films, but he surpasses her when it comes to total appearances in the wider Scream franchise, as he also returned to voice Ghostface in the third season of MTV's Scream series. The final legacy cast member that was not introduced in the previous film that is taking part in Scream 6 is Hayden Panettiere as Kirby Reed. Yes, her survival of the events of Scream 4 were confirmed in a blink and you miss it Easter egg in Scream 5, and now she's back in full force. I am very excited to see Kirby back, as her character's death has been widely debated for over a decade, so this is some surreal payoff to a somewhat open-ended death scene in Scream 4. We got a first look at Hayden Panettiere in the hair and makeup trailer when the Scream social media accounts shared this photo. We don't know much about Kirby's return, of course, but I hope they rope her into this film's Ghostface plot a bit more organically than the legacy characters got roped into the last film's events. Alright, also returning in Scream 6 is basically all of the surviving main characters from Scream 5. So that is Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, Jenna Ortega as Tara Carpenter, Jasmine Savoy Brown as Mindy Meeks Martin, and her on-screen twin, Mason Gooding, as Chad Meeks Martin. Paramount has also announced some new cast members, including Samara Weaving, who has previously starred in Ready or Not, which was Radio Silence's breakout hit before they got the gig for directing these new Scream films. I love Samara Weaving and everything that I've seen her in, so I'm very pleased to see her included in this cast, and I really hope that she doesn't die first. Also included in the cast is Dermot Mulroney, who is reportedly playing a police officer, and Tony Revolori, who you may know from playing Flash Thompson in the MCU Spider-Man films. Like I said, the radio silence duo that is Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettolini-Olpin are returning to direct Scream 6, and the writing team is also the same as the last go-round, with James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick penning this screenplay. The man who made Scream alongside Wes Craven, Kevin Williamson, is returning as executive producer. He also was an executive producer on Scream 5, as well as being the main screenwriter for Scream 1, 2, and 4. Long-term Scream producers Marianne Maddalena and Kathy Conrad are also back on as executive producers for Scream 6. Alright, with all of the cast and crew personnel out of the way, let's dig into this teaser trailer that just got released. The teaser gives us small glimpses of a scene where Sam, Tara, Mindy, and Chad are riding on a subway car that is filled with people in Halloween costumes, including multiple Ghostface masks, one of which ends up attacking Mindy as the teaser reaches its climax. I think this scene is a cool first glimpse of the new film without giving away pretty much anything about the plot. I don't think that the scene will be a major point in the film, but nonetheless there is a lot to break down in this trailer, as it is filled to the brim with some extremely meta horror film references, and I'm going to name everyone that I caught, but if I missed any, please list them in the comments below. There are a couple more general costumes in here, like a cowboy or David Bowie, but I'll be sticking to the ones that are more specifically referencing other horror films. Firstly, waiting for the subway is somebody dressed as Chucky from the Child's Play franchise, and in that same shot coming down the stairs, we see somebody dressed as Grace, who is Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not. This is incredibly tongue-in-cheek, given that not only are the directors of that film directing this very scene, but we also know that Samara Weaving herself is playing a character in Scream 6. Later on in the subway car, we see a wolf man and a zombie, or perhaps it's a cheap attempt at the Crypt Keeper, but behind Sam and Chad is a person dressed certainly as the Babadook, and we also have a nun nearby, which could be a reference to the nun in the Conjuring universe. Also in the subway car is Pinhead from the Hellraiser films, Jason from Friday the 13th, as well as the siblings from Jordan Peele's 2019 film Us. I love how these costumes mix horror icons of the past with the present, and I think the inclusion of Grace from Ready or Not was very clever and something that I didn't catch the first few times I watched this teaser. Same thing goes for the siblings from Us. That was the very last one that I caught, that I ended up seeing. Let me know what you thought of the teaser and all of these horror Easter eggs in the comments below, and let me know if you're excited for Scream 6 to hit theaters this March. Give this video a like if you liked it. That'll let me know if I should make more videos on Scream 6 ahead of its release. My Scream videos tend to be pretty hit or miss, so any feedback is welcome. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.